the method is to ultimately increase price to provide a better service. But like what you do is you have to figure out what your customers want. Then you have to figure out what that costs, right? Do they want more amenities, online records? Do they want a shuttle? Do they want a nice waiting facility? Do they want coffee in the lobby? Do they, whatever.
Welcome to Boys Under the Hood. Pat Kelly, joined by James Stevenson. Our podcast today is sponsored by Lotus Business Solutions that includes Lotus Media and Lotus Financial. What is going on, man?
How are you, Pat?
This time of year, so on my way here, you see this on your way out. Have you seen the houses that are competing with the Christmas lights?
Oh, near you?
Yeah. So there's two houses that are right next to each other, and they each have a different radio frequency, tune into this in front of our house. And it's like a competition with them every single year. And it gets bigger and better every year. A couple of years back, one of them had this thing where I'm looking in the window, and sure as shit, I'm like, is that Santa Claus inside the house? It was like voodoo to me. And so they had like one of those projectors. Have you seen those things?
No, like Kevin McAllister when he was trying to pretend people were home?
Yes.
Or he wanted by the windows?
So I guess the projector must shine at the window, but you look in the house, and it looks like there's Santa and Mrs. Claus getting ready for Christmas.
Correct.
And I'm sitting there like a kid, what in the hell is going on here? And that's another one my wife told me, no, those aren't really people. You can't get up on the house and you can't get close enough to really see what's going on.
Right.
But it looks like they're preparing for the big Christmas celebration.
And then there's a guy across the street. Look at me.
So the guy across the street is like, he's got the sadder one, right? So there's two people right next to each other. Yeah, this big ornate thing that it goes with the music that you hear on the radio. And then there's the dude across the street who still has an impressive one, but not close to the other.
I feel like you must go all out for your Christmas lights.
This year's the first year that I really did something. I got the laser lights. Instead of putting lights on the tree, I got these lights that shine up at the tree that look amazing in the branches. They're like $60 each. I saw them over at Silver Bell Farms. They have an amazing light display over there. And I saw these laser lights that they had. So right away I went on Amazon, got me like 3 of them. And they kind of points left to the tree. It looks nice.
I'll have to see it. I'm going to see it.
Oh, you'll see it when you drive by.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. Do much here. I like candles in the windows, that type of stuff, like basic classic. I don't like a lot of people put nets. They put the net right over the bushes. It looks like you mailed it in.
I love that candle in the window. I like that look year round, actually. It's very kind of colonial America, I guess. It reminds me of back in the day when the houses all had real candles in the window like that.
Yeah.
The good part of this, and a lot of people with the nets you mentioned, the good part is for the losers who didn't take down their Christmas lights from last year, they look like they're ahead of the game. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm always on the radio in marketing info saying, no pressure, but just so you know, Christmas was 3 months ago.
I mean, for those that leave the lights up.
I see people now, they still have their Halloween decorations up. They got ghosts hanging from their trees. I'm like, what kind of Christmas is this?
Yeah, we had like a 10-foot skeleton out until maybe a week ago.
Oh, did you finally? So you are that guy.
Nicole wanted the big skeleton, this big 10-foot skeleton or whatever. Right. And that, I don't know, but we forgot it was there. Never took it down.
I mean, how could you miss the 10-foot skeleton? I did see that happen.
It's tough to see it.
Well, I mean, the truth is you have more stuff to do at the end of the day to take down a skeleton after it pays work.
Yeah.
I totally get that part of it.
It is down now. It is down. I'm about to go into the
I'm very proud of it. That's very nice. If this is your first time tuning into the Boys Under the Hood podcast, this is a weekly podcast where we address the challenges of independent auto shop owners for the most part. A lot of what we talk about can be translated into really any business that you might be in. So you don't necessarily need to be an auto repair shop for us to kind of help you through your path of your frustrations. But James Stevenson began with precision auto repair here in Western Mass, 18 years in business now. And through that process has created Lotus Business Solutions, and is sharing the wealth of knowledge that he's accumulated over close to 2 decades with other shop owners, and we're killing it.
Yeah.
For the shop owners who do listen and are willing to, take responsibility for how things are going at their shops, and that's a big part of it. And we've talked about that, right? You need to take responsibility if things are going bad. And how does How does that process go? Like if you're a shop owner who's like desperate, you're losing money, you can't keep employees. How do you sit down and kind of look in the mirror and say, I need to change this?
I think that's the first thing that you do, like, so aside from just being a business owner, I've been a professional, like certified business development coach for, nearly 10 years at one of the best consulting firms in the world for independent auto repair shops. So I've been at this for a minute, and I can tell you that like the clients that do the best, or the shops that we purchase that end up doing the best, there is a sense of ownership of any type of an issue, right? So what I mean by that is when something goes wrong in my company, one of the companies that we own, one of the companies we run or whatever, I say, how is this my problem? Not in like, well, how is this my problem, right? Like, how did I intersect with this problem? And how can I make it easier for somebody to duplicate what I would do all the time? And the sooner that you get in that mindset, like, all right, this isn't a problem. That person's not an idiot. Like, they just didn't know. And how do I make it easier for them to know? How do I document it? How do I train differently? And then the last piece of it really is the accountability. So the best process that I have seen is, right, the person has to be in the right mindset to accept the feedback and to want to change. Like, then they have to document exactly what goes on. Like, I always have these notebooks. This is mine. I think this one's only a couple weeks old. Look how many pages I got, but I keep these things with me all the time. So you write it down at the end of the day, reflect what went right, what went wrong, and then add sections to your handbook or take away or refine, then from there trade, and then hold people accountable. That's the secret to business, right there.
What a lot of people don't know how to do that process. So that's where Lotus Business Solutions can help.
Absolutely.
Right. And kind of get a little focus on what should be done first, kind of a list of things.
Yeah. And the other thing is, through the years, we have been involved with a lot of other businesses other than just auto repair shops too, so we have restaurants that we market for. We have, a lot of trade-based stuff. So electrical, plumbing, construction, I own all, and people think that it's just auto repair. Like, that is what we enjoy the most. That's what I enjoy the most, but trade-based stuff, it's all really kind of the same animal. We can spin them up the same way. And we have some really, really incredible people on our team and some really, really incredible processes. We've been doing this for such a long time. We've really kind of got it down to a science for the most part. Within a couple of months, the business is really different. And within a year, it's unrecognizable from what it was prior to that. So we've had a pretty good track record. We really, really enjoy it. You're just changing people's lives, right? Not just what business.
Yeah. And a good example of that is OCD. We talked to Nick just a couple podcasts ago, car detailing business.
Yeah, we bought that.
And we basically have now plugged it into a formula where he's going to knock it out of the park. And I don't even think he realizes it at this point.
He doesn't realize that he has rocket fuel underneath him. No. So within probably a couple weeks, I would say, by the time this podcast comes out, he'll be everywhere. And his website just went live yesterday, actually. And so it's every business. People call up regularly. Well, how do I do it? What's the first step? We don't know yet. We have a recipe for success, but the first thing that we have to do is go after, like, whatever the biggest pain points are, whatever the biggest low-hanging fruit was. And for him, it was marketing. His marketing was not on par with what we wanted it to be. So you changed the brand, rebrand the company, new logo, new site, shirts. What does the facility look like? All that stuff. And then we apply our method to it.
And we set some goals.
We said, oh my gosh.
That's one of the things, right? Without setting goals, you just kind of trudge it along.
Yeah.
Like, you're just day to day doing the same thing.
Yeah.
How important is that to you?
Well, all about plan is just a wish.
Right.
And so, we set really strong goals, and then we come up with a strong plan, and we go out there and we execute. We do it time and time again. And especially in our market here, like, this is where we're the most strong in the Northeast.
I can't wait to see how OCD goes, man, because we were talking about our strategy before this started today, and different things that we're going to be trying and doing. And I just can't wait to do it.
He's an incredible detail. No, but those guys are phenomenal at detailing. It's just nobody knows they're there.
He's a hard-working dude, and that's an important part of it.
Yeah.
Before we get to our first question, I just want to ask you, are you comfortable in that really nice after
This is like the nicest. If you haven't noticed, aside of lens in this thing, I was jealous.
I am sitting in like a folding chair, like a professional wrestler would break over the back of another.
We're gonna do that.
And James is hanging on this beautiful, just look regal like.
It's very nice. I'm not gonna put my feet up. Nice. Oh no, it's very comfortable. People sometimes are like, "Where are you guys recording?" I'm like, "Well, this is one of my garages. You know, one of the garage bar, my whole gym. I got a whole gym. I love it out here."
So one of the things that kind of drives the podcast is questions and comments.
Yeah.
And so please comment or ask a question. We'll be happy to answer it on a future podcast. You want to get to one?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Looks like we have a shop owner who is, if I can get my phone right, who looks like he's in a little bit of trouble. This is from Benson from York, Pennsylvania. He's an auto repair shop owner. He writes, I first want to thank you both for all the time you put into the show. I absolutely love it and think your points of view are a breath of fresh air. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Benson.
Nice, Benson.
Hell yeah, brother. It's always nice to hear that you're doing well. It's why we do it.
Yeah.
Benson continues, he writes, my shop is really struggling to maintain a healthy bank account. Most of our customer base are fleet repairs. While it's good money, we don't end up getting paid for a month or two on top of giving a loyalty discount. It's really hard. To add to that, we're so busy with the fleets that I really can't take in much more customer work that pays today. I really don't know how to handle this problem as we clearly don't have money to expand yet. What should I do?
You want the short answer or the long one?
The short one first.
Stop fucking around with the fleets. You get a hope. Like, that's the first thing that I would, that's your low hanging fruit, right? Like, so you're giving them an interest-free loan for 30 to 60 days while you're sacrificing cash flow. So how do you invest that money back into your business? And then you're giving them a discount of what? Anywhere between 5 and probably 20%. He's probably giving them to make it substantial.
Right.
So he's not making the margins that he needs to make to stay profitable. He's laying out the cash to pay his technicians, pay his vendors, pay his overhead, and he's doing it at 0%. And then they go 30 to 60 days regularly. That's insane.
That is insane. I guess,
You know, and now you can't take in customer work, and now you're struggling, and now you've got the stress, right? So you're taking in all of this low dollar work to not get paid on it, to lose, right? So even if he's giving 10% by the end of, by the end of 60 days, he's down 30, 40%, right? Because, well, maybe not 30%, right? But if he's only giving 10%, he's losing 8% a month. They add another 16
right
all day, right? So even for easy math, just say it's 30%, even if it's 25%.
So that's a challenge, though. So he's got all this fleet business, and let's just say he's putting in 40 hours a week for the fleet business. He wants you to have more customers that pay this day in the shop.
Yeah.
He can't just tell the fleet people that starting today, I can't do it. How do you make that transition?
You have to back down, right? You have to back down. So the first way that you'll back down is, back down the fleet work. The first way is, hey, look, we have to get paid, and here's our agreement. And so what you do is you give everyone some type of like a vendor agreement. Your attorney can write this up. You can make one online. Make sure your attorney takes a look at it, because I don't know what's legal in your state, But anybody that does fleet work with us, they want a charge account. They have to sign an agreement with us. Hey, you're net 7, you're net 14, you're net 30, whatever, and then our pricing reflects that, because we can. The way that our businesses operate is we don't use credit. And I know that may sound silly to some other people, but like, we just don't use credit. We get a better deal on a lot of the parts and things that we're purchasing if we pay for them right now. And then by paying for them right now, anything that like hasn't quite settled yet, we end up getting 5% off at the end of the month. And then I purchase all my parts with a credit card as I'm doing it weekly. So I'm getting points back. So if we have to travel, so there's all kinds of different ways to do it. But ultimately for us, we pay with cash for everything. We're in that, we're fortunate about. And so by reinvesting the cash back into our materials and everything else, like, we're getting a better price on the material today. We're saving a little bit of money. We're saving more. I'm able to take in more jobs. I'm able to have my capital to go and reinvest back into the company by way of equipment, uniforms, whatever, any type of marketing things that we want to do. It's just, I want to have my money. That's my money.
Right.
and so we just, like that is how you operate, right? Time and money. You need time and money. You wouldn't just give away your time for free. Instead, this guy is giving it away and giving his money away, all of it at a discount,
I was going to say that, like, I feel like he didn't upfront kind of create value in his business that, okay, you can count on me to get this done.
Yeah.
Awesome and timely.
Yeah.
We've never liked discounts.
Not a fan of a discount.
Because, well, for a couple of reasons. Once you establish a discount, how do you back that up? How do you say to the customer, you know what, your 20% is going away, but I still want you to do business with us. So you got to set that precedent up front.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I'd rather provide more value. I mean, everything that we do, one of the questions I got recently, somebody was like, well, you tell people to increase prices. That's not what I'm advocating. I've never advocated for that. Sometimes the method is to ultimately increase price to provide a better service. But like what you do is you have to figure out what your customers want. Then you have to figure out what that costs, right? Do they want more amenities, online records? Do they want a shuttle? Do they want a nice waiting facility? Do they want coffee in the lobby? Do they, whatever, right? Do they not care? Are they okay with getting a phone call back, or do they want to answer the phone and speak to a person? Like, all of these things have a cost associated. Now, do they want the vehicle fixed properly today, or do they not mind waiting a few days? Do they want the vehicle fixed today and properly, or do they want it fixed today and they got to bring it back 3 times? So if they want it done properly today, quickly, and they don't have to worry about it, it takes a certain level of technician that has a certain level of training and has all of the right tools, and he's not using an adjustable wrench on everything, and all of these things cost money. So you have to figure out what service you want to provide to your customers. What amenities can they live without? What amenities do they need? Then you figure out what that costs, and then you charge that amount to the customer. If somebody doesn't want to pay that, it's unfortunate, but sometimes they just don't know that you're providing all these extra things. And so it's up to us as a business to tell them what we do and explain why it may be more than going to somebody that is working out of their backyard. But at the end of the day, beginning, middle, end of the day, you have to provide an incredibly high quality service to your customer. And then that's it. You have to figure out what it costs, because otherwise you're not in business anymore. And there is no point in working so hard and doing all of these things to race to be cheaper than the next guy that doesn't care about his quality and doesn't care about his speed and doesn't have the amenities and things. Let those customers go there, and you continuously recruit for the type of customer that you are providing a service for. Just because they call you, it doesn't mean they're your customer.
I would say to Benson too, with all the fleet business and the lack of regular people coming in, you need to market your business, man.
That's the next thing.
You need to spread the word through media, through social media, through keyword searches, through landline media like radio, maybe some TV if it's in your budget. But you've got to establish your spot in your market as the best shop around, and then tell people why.
Always the why. Yeah, so the first thing that I would do if I were Benson is I would get agreements that I would send out to all of these fleet accounts. And I would say, hey, look, these are the terms. This is when you're going to pay us. And here is a repercussion if you don't. Here's the interest, or here's the fee that you're going to have to pay. And this is how the fee escalates up.
But despair. It's very flexible. What business offers 0% till further notice?
A bank.
No one. You wouldn't be in business if you did that.
Hey, I need $500,000 to go purchase a home. Could I just get this money and I'll just pay you back at some point? I'll pay you laugh at you.
I'll pay you back when I could do it. I don't want a mortgage. I'll every 2 to 3 months I'll just send you a check or something. Can we have that or something in the contract?
Or something. Yeah, I'm waiting to get paid. Let me pay you. What would happen if you said, I'm waiting to get paid on a job, right? I'm waiting. No, man. Like my construction company, we get that regularly. We'll finish up a job, and you finish up a big bathroom or a kitchen or something incredible, one of these jobs, and they're waiting on your final third to get paid. And these people, I don't know how many times this happens. They're like, oh, I'm waiting on a bonus. It'll just be another month. Buddy, you don't care. Yeah, it's not. I got to invest the money back into my company.
Right.
And the other thing that happens is people will be like, well, you got it, Jay. What does it matter? It's my money. It doesn't matter if it's $1, it's $100,000. It's my money. You know, it's up to me. If I want to light it on fire tomorrow, I'll light it on fire. But I'm pretty frugal. And also, like, let me make this point. Yeah, James, you got it. There are reasons why James hasn't it, right?
Yeah.
It's the way you execute your practices. Yeah. But I'm cheated too. I'm insanely cheap. People don't realize that. Like, I have no problem paying whatever for something, but I gotta get the value for it, right? That's how we build our businesses. And then, I won't pay $1 for something if I don't see value in it, but I'll pay $10,000 for it if I'm like, we're gonna use this all the time. It's great. It's perfect for us. I don't know. But to get back to his question, I give people better agreements. You're going to lose some right then and there, and that will free up some time for you to begin to get some vehicles in. Now that the ones that are staying are going to be paying you, you can begin to advertise a little bit more. Some of the faster ways to get customers back in the door are through CRM, customer retention marketing programs, right? Advertise to your existing customer base, and get them back in. If you have to offer some type of a discount, I prefer value add services over discounted services. So I would rather give you something extra for free within the service than give you money off of the service, just because I don't want you to get kind of addicted to that discount. Well, you can train it. Well, yeah, at night you can train them, and there are a lot of businesses that run that discount market. That is fine. Go do it. It's fine if it works for you. I just don't. I'd rather add more value to the service than take money off of it. And so now you're going to start getting that steady flow of customers coming in. And then the next thing is obviously stiffen up your website. Make sure it's very easy to book with you. All of our websites that we do, you have, I always use the analogy. I'm like, you want to make it easy so that somebody just falls out of bed and they land in their slippers, right? You want them just to land right in their slippers. And so when somebody goes on your website, they are not interested in all of these words that you put on your website. They want reviews. They want a few photos. They need to know that you are a competent person, and they need easy ways to schedule with you. Online 24/7 booking. If you don't have that, you're already in the dark, because people don't want to talk to people now. It's crazy, but they don't. And I know I've been on certain sites looking for something. I'm like, man, it would just be so much easier if I could just schedule online, or I need to one-click call you. Right. So all of our sites have very clear calls to action, and it's constant. I've been on sites, looking at businesses to purchase or looking at competition in new areas. I'll go to these sites, and it's impossible to book online. It's impossible to just click on a phone number. It's, but then you look at all of the work that they put into the site, writing down all of these words that they think are going to help them in SEO. But user engagement is one of the things that people forget. And people are not on your site for a long time. Put your reviews above the fold. Put your contact stuff above the fold. It should all be buttons. It should be easy. Click on pictures. Make it easy for them. Stop making it easy for you or what you think that people are looking for. And just, I hate to use the term dumb it down, but that's what it needs to be. It needs to be very, very basic. They're on your site for under 17 seconds in general. Under 17 seconds. I think they're reading all of that stuff that you have on your website. No, man.
Why not? One of the mistakes I've seen people make too is they think that because it looks good to them, that it's effective.
Yeah.
And the truth is, whatever business you're in, if you're not in marketing and you don't deal with people regularly, don't know how to emotionally move people, you don't know what you're doing. And I don't mean that to be a bad thing. You're right. There are things that I don't know what I'm doing. It's why I bring my car to Precision and I'll screw out myself, because it's not my point of expertise.
Yeah.
I would say to Benson, you could easily get a hold of us at lotuspe.us. We'd be happy to talk more about his business and try to, establish what his goals are. Where does he want to be 6 months from now? Where does he want to be a year from now?
Yeah.
One of the things that I learned with the processes to putting together the OCD's marketing campaign here, I went on their website just to test it. I wanted to see how easy it was, and it was easy. Yeah, it asks, what vehicle you drive, what year it is, enter. And then it brought up a list of the services, and that was it.
Yeah, if you're not.
Very simple. But then 2 hours later, I got a text on my phone that said, "Are you still interested in OCB service?"
Because you hadn't submitted it yet.
Right. Yeah. But that follow-up on my phone, I thought was amazing. And I also got an email as well, but I got a text too.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a very effective way to kind of keep them top of mind, even though I hadn't finished doing business on there.
Yep. That's that's one of our newest sites. So originalcardetail.com. They're out of Agawam, Mass. And so that's a bolt-on business. That's a bolt-on acquisition for Precision Auto. And so that'll just be a value add. We get asked, it's got to be a dozen times a week for a detailing shop, a dozen times a week. And people don't understand really what detailing is in a lot of cases. They don't know what a ceramic coating is, a paint correction, and all of this stuff. And, we've learned a lot through this process. But the guys down there at OCB, they deliver an incredible product. And so we're really happy that, they reached out and, that we're able to come up with a deal that works for everybody. But that company is going to do really, really well.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
That's part of it. I have no children of my own. So these are like children to me, watching them grow up.
Yeah. We'll get them at a bigger building. We'll get them in a different location. We'll do the whole thing with them. But, right now we're about maybe 3 weeks, a month in. We've already got their website up and their presence and everything like that. The last thing that I would do, Benson, is the same thing that we're doing for our companies. Once the website is tight, and toughened up, we create a bunch of landing pages and we create paid ad campaigns. People are looking in search all the time. And in some places they're looking in display for different businesses. Car detailing is definitely one that will do well in display. It's so visual. But those are the ads that are going to follow people around the internet. Search when they're looking for you until your SEO takes hold. You have this search network that you're just paying for the ads to come in. So, Benson, to kind of bring it full steam or full, whatever the hell I'm trying to say, you'll, is that what it was? Bring it full circle. So while we bring it full circle, set up some vendor agreements with these people, right? Tell them what interest you're going to have to charge and when they're going to pay you, make them sign it, put it on file. Some you lose, some you don't, right? But in any event, if they're all paying the proper amount and they're all paid on time, then you know what your costs are going to be and you know what your margins are. Next thing, you can start to market to some of your customers. You can start to be a little bit more regular, maybe with your social media posting. We have really, really good luck with like informative videos. Video content hits really, really hard right now. Photos that are before, during, and after explain how you solved the customer's problem. How did it benefit the customer? This came in. This is what we found was wrong. This is why it went wrong. And this is how it benefits the customer. Schedule on our website, link to the scheduling page. If you have financing, link to the financing. Link to call you, right? Super, super easy. And then set up an ad campaign that goes back to very specific landing pages that are easy to book and have your reviews from Google right on there. Don't be the guy that is just writing in what your reviews are and putting a picture of 5 stars on there. No, link to a reputable site, and ask people for reviews, ask customers for reviews. Tell them, hey, look, it really, it helps us.
That's an important part of it too. You can't be afraid of what the answer is when you ask someone how well the job was done.
People are frightened, right? They're terrified.
I don't want people to ask. I don't want to ask them. I just don't want to ask them.
Yeah. If you don't ask them, how do you grow from there?
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
Either you're doing the right thing or hell, we got to tweak this.
Yeah.
Right? That's true.
It's true.
Benson, we appreciate your question. You also can send a question to us, Boys Under the Hood. And please do, because the fact is that we don't have a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah.
We do. We got a lot to talk about. We always you can learn more about Lotus Business Solutions at lotuspe.us. Lotus Business Solutions also includes Lotus Media, which we were just talking about earlier today, helping to establish your message and your clear brand within your marketplace. No one's more creative than we are in doing that. And lastly, Lotus Financial. No one wants to friggin' come home and do the books after a long day's of work. If you run a shop and you own a shop, give the money part away to someone else, and that'll be one less hassle that you have and allow you to focus more on what the hell you're doing. And that is being a shop owner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you gotta work on the business, not necessarily in the business, but you gotta dedicate that time. And this frees up a lot of that. Fractional CFO program.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta hire an accountant, hire somebody that will take care of all that stuff for you.
So thank you for joining us for today's edition of Boys Under the Hood. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time.
All right.